Okay. Hey, Stretch. Okay, we are live, folks. So if you want to introduce us, there's the table. You're muted.
You know, I was just trying
Remember
to get
that
the
I
sound
said
to
play
go
the music a bit first because it's loud?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the sound to go.
Before Coho revolutionized banking, banks had stuff like bank furniture. These pieces were crafted from one.
Rowan,
Somebody is watching the stream and playing an ad.
Hello, Charmy. Yes, this is the Toy Soldiers Night.
Let's get the show on the road, shall we?
Yep.
All right. And hello, everyone, and welcome to Toy Soldiers Old School. This is episode 46, I believe. Yes. My name is Diane Morrison. I'm known in the community as Sable Aradia. I am the creator of the Toy Soldiers Saga. In this campaign, I play Celine Wintermist, captain of our Special Forces ship, the Voidchaser. I joined the Navy and then the Marines in order to see the universe, maybe help some people out along the way. I am a priestess of the moon goddess Arianrod, also goddess of the stars. My and her pronouns are she or they.
Okay, Rowan.
Hi, I'm Rowan. I play Von Vince Starsong. He's a druid who joined the Avalonian Imperial Navy to fly on starseed ships and meet new people and creatures and see new planets and plants and all that fun and wonderful stuff. And during her journey, she some awesome people, made some great friends, found family, became a Marine, occasionally stabs a slaver in the groin, and her pronouns are she, her, and so are mine.
Okay, Arian. I mean, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I play Arian. He's the grizzled, older, ex-enlisted elf who has somehow found himself a duke and surrounded by even higher-ranking people, and is not quite sure how that happened, and still thinks like a sergeant, and sees it as his job to keep all these people alive, including his girlfriend, who apparently is the Imperial Crown Princess. And our pronouns are he and him.
Okay, Gareth.
Hi, I'm Gareth, also known as Guy Fighters. I'm the Slayer of Lyric, who's a no-nonsense gunslinger who had an accident early on in life that left him with a mostly mechanical body. And we go by he, him.
Okay, Blake.
Hi, I'm Blake. I'll be playing the part of Crowley. He's a Phoenok, a feline-like race of my own creation. Basically, Crowley was a prisoner here and there and everywhere, a sideshow and whatnot, until Yasma managed to rescue him from that life. And as she joined the Navy, he kind of tagged along, and through his misadventures, he became part of the Navy. And now he's a Marine, and he's having grand adventures with the crew. Our pronouns are he, him.
Okay, Dawn.
Hi, I'm Dawn. I play Yasma Snowwind. I was an orphan. I best friends with Crowley here. And decided to join the Navy on a whim and suggestion of someone in a bar. Little did I know that was a setup for me to join the Navy. So then I found some family, found out what was it, the Imperial Crown Princess that I am? Yeah, so I'm not an orphan anymore. I've got a dad and sisters and a brother, and it's pretty cool. I even got a man, Arian. And yeah, our pronouns are she, her.
Okay, Branna.
Hi, I'm Brianna, known online as Siobhan the Writer. I play Madrimlian. He is an altruistic elf who joined the Avalonian the Avalonian Imperial Navy out of family obligations. He doesn't want to be a rope puller all his life, so yes, he's become an officer, but he's still a rope puller until he actually can fulfill his goal of creating his own division in the military for intelligence. His pronouns are he, they. Mine are she, her.
Okay, Taz.
Hi, I'm Taz, also known as Gmino99 on the internet. I play Arden Spellsword, a magus obsessed with crafting Kensai. My pronouns are he, him. That's really about it.
Okay, my name is Aaron. Hi, Daz. Alright, my name is Aaron. I go by Aaron Ree, which is spelled exactly how it's pronounced, R-I-G-H. Ree. And I am the game master of this game, so I control the flow and action and such. And I also play the part of Ruavel Sunfall, who is, at this point, pretty destined to become the father of the protagonist of the Toy Soldier Saga. Okay, and intelligence log.
Alright, intelligence log supplement.
Sorry, my pronouns are he, they, and so are his.
Right, intelligence log supplemental. We are reaching the end of our refit time period, so we're just waiting on the last bits of our gear and equipment to arrive, aka mostly our weapons and whatnot that need to be commissioned or recommissioned. Sorry, for recommissioning the ship completely. And we're running our new Marines through the ringer.
Sorry about that. Aaron is muted because he was coughing.
Sorry about that. I had to mute because I was coughing there. So, yeah, you guys were crewing up. You've got 20 odd Marines now, plus your crew. Right. Arian was keeping an eye out on those that he thought looked promising for bug suits and had found 5 at this point.
Right.
Right. He wants the bosun to stay the bosun, so he's not getting a bug suit. Right. Which appears to him to suit him fine.
Man after Arian's own heart.
Yep. Yeah, and you had taken them down for a fitting when we had last left.
That's right. Von Vin did some off-camera stuff with Alessander, right, over the course of the Alessander being the NPC that I play there. Basically, they were working on making the ship shape for, their druid duties, so trimming of the, edges of the wing tips and, cleaning and fertilizer and setting in the garden and caring for our main mast, of course, which is a tree folk, which is awesome.
Yeah. Wish you'd have informed me at the time you guys were going to do that. I would have been involved and had him involved in the conversation with you.
Oh, okay. Well, you did know we were going to do that over the course of the weekend and whatnot.
Yeah, so I just didn't have time because you did it while I was on stream.
Ah. Okay, well, in the future then, we'll try not to do that. That was a good convenient slot for both of us. I didn't have to stream, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. At any rate, they seem to be getting along pretty well. Right? So that's one thing. Right? Let's just say that. There might be some flirty stuff, too.
Okay.
Daz, no.
They went and did dinner and drinks sometimes in the evening when Von Vin wasn't busy and Cersei's was, busy.
Yep. Now, Rowan sent me a question that Von Vin will ask Alessander about about spin dizzies, right? And I figured it'd be better actually to clarify this on stream, right? Although Aaron and I did talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So basically, Von Vin wanted to know what the effects would be of casting a Dispel Magic on the Spin Dizzy engine.
And basically, the effect is nothing most of the time, because you're just not powerful enough to affect it. They're epic level magic items. Alright, so if you do manage to affect it, it'll shut down for a d4 rounds.
What that means is that gravity becomes non-functional for 1d4 rounds, as it says it has an effect on magic items, right? Like, when you cast a Dispel Magic on an item for 1d4 rounds, it just doesn't work, right? So, same thing, right? Gravity stops working, you start floating, whatever, right? Or
Yeah.
if the ship was traveling really fast, suddenly you're in the middle of space and the ship is gone.
Well, no, you just hit the wall.
Yeah, well, yeah, right? But air does not immediately go out like whoosh, right?
No, but
Because the effects of the air envelope are a
the
side
etheric
effect.
membrane.
Yeah, well, not entirely, because the etheric membrane is also an electromagnetic field, basically. But it's an effect of how star metal and mithril react to one another, right? The spinning of the mithril outside of the spin dizzy around the interior star metal, right, is what maintains the air and most of the electromagnetic field. If you cast Dispel Magic on it, it wouldn't immediately stop, right? It would have momentum, it would slow down, right? And some air would be lost, right? So it would have an effect on the distance you could travel with the same air envelope, but it would not immediately go out like whoosh and cause explosive decompression. So
Right, unless you stuffed something in there to stop it. Which, since it's spinning at near the speed of light, good luck.
You're gonna lose her. You're gonna lose your hand there, buddy.
And the other thing to consider is this is good to know for our bug suits.
yes.
That was the primary concern, actually,
Yeah.
because when Von Vin and Alsander were talking, the conversation turned towards warfare advancement, and how in warfare, new idea comes up, counters are eventually found for it. There could be a weak point, and that was one thing that could have been a weak point in bug suits.
Yep. Yep, but fortunately, it should almost never be a concern until we're much higher level.
And then you'll have ways around losing all your air and shit anyways, so.
Yeah, I guess you would have to worry at higher levels like mass dispel and such and things like that.
Oh, the other thing too is we always have that amulet, so if our spin dizzy does die, we still have air.
Yep.
Yep.
That's true. That's standard issue, and you wear it all the time. Even to, like, bathe or whatever, or sleep. I'm loving the chat. It's hilarious. Yeah. Dad's playing the, layabout crew member.
No barnacles on this ship. She hasn't been in space for a long time.
Yep, that's true. Which is another thing. We go around and chink everything with tar. Well, putty. Which is for us a sap wood mix, because we're elves.
Yep. You putty everything.
Yep. We haven't been in
It's a
space
crack,
in a while.
you putty it.
For all we know, it could have had, weather damage or whatever. Unlikely in a living starseed, but yeah, double check.
If it looks questionable, put putty on it.
Yep.
Quick question. Would a mixture of beeswax and pitch make like a putty itself without having any wood content to it?
Yes, but you sort of need the wood content for the fibers.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it
it's going to make it stay in place better.
Hemp.
Oh yeah, hemp fibers would work.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And hemp fibers would
Any kind of
probably be
fiber would
stronger.
work.
Okay.
What was that there?
Hemp fiber would be
Any-
stronger.
Yes.
Yep, hemp fiber.
But in a pinch, any would do.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Loving the chat, guys. You guys are hilarious. Oh, we got Chris's drill sergeant voice going on now.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. Yep. Okay, so we're. Go ahead.
So they've turned over the the blue spore star mushrooms to Vonvin and Alessander. Being careful that he put his mushrooms away first.
Thank you very much for getting this, says Alessander.
Yeah, he got a whole barrel of the bloody things. Well, actually, it was a few barrels.
That is an amazing supply.
Well done, sir, he says. Actually, he's an ensign. He says, well done, ensign. You know, with an approving nod. He outranks you, so.
Yeah.
Okay. We needed these, right?
We certainly did, he says. And that's more than we should need, which is excellent, he says. Hard to get and expensive. I approve, he says.
It's too bad, actually, that you didn't find any immature ones, too. We've seen some promising research in it handling battle brain issues.
I'll let you know if I come across any.
Wonderful, he says.
Roll your bullshit.
Yes.
Okay.
That's your bluff. You got a good score. And you guys can roll your
Yeah.
sense motive if you want to see if he's lying.
Yeah, I'm an NPC, so whatever.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
Just give me half a second.
One sec.
If it were anybody else than Crowley, Von Vin might not have suspected anything, but it's Crowley.
That's right.
She might not suspect
Exactly.
anything
I
anyways.
don't blame you one bit.
She might not
I don't blame
suspect
you a
anything
bit.
anyway.
Generally it does.
Oblivious, you rolled a 2.
Okay.
Even with whatever modifiers, he's probably like, la 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 la, not paying.
I have a 17 on my sense motive.
And I got 19 on my bluff.
Okay. So, no, you don't
He
suspect
quirks
anything.
an eyebrow at you, but,
Yeah.
that's about it.
Give me 20, 25 minutes. I'll be back, and Crowley will for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He'll just make up the 20 minutes kind of wandering about,
Yeah.
and then come back and say, hey, you know what? I managed to find some of those.
You did.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like,
wow.
"Well, don't tell anyone," he says, but that's excellent, he says. Here, we'll hide them in the garden, he says.
And Crowley will
The
give him
contraband, he says.
half of what he found or what he had acquired.
Okay.
Brilliant.
If somebody would please add that to our Google Doc of the
Yeah, that's my job,
stuff.
I believe, so... Oh, Google Doc? Yeah, we moved that to a Google Doc, didn't we? I don't have the Google Doc. I can put it on our World Anvil site. I will do that.
I was pretty sure you're the one that started the Google Doc for that.
Uh-oh, we could be in trouble then. I've got a clue. Alright. Assets and equipment. Oh yeah, we kept track of how much of our money did we spend there? We had what and we spent which?
Crowley?
We had 106,000,
Right?
and we are now at 98,000.
98,000 in the collective treasury. Okay, duly noted. I will edit. blue star mushroom spores and green star mushroom spores. Okay, the blue ones we have a whole barrel, you said?
I think I said 2,
Yeah.
didn't I?
Two.
No, you
Yep.
you said 1 barrel of the blue star mushrooms
Oh, right.
plus the 3 pounds I got in bottles, and
Yep.
then another. I believe it was a 1 pound bottle of the green.
Yes. So you got a half pound of green mushroom spores, right? And you've got 53 pounds of blue mushroom spores.
Okay. Brilliant. Would you call that a consumable or a material / component?
Consumable.
Okay. Okay, and green.
Yeah, Von Ben might not have said anything if it had been anybody but Crowley that brought the blue mushroom spores in. But she's well aware that Crowley has connections.
Connections. That's a good way to put it. Okay, so. Oh, my camera has frozen. Well, that's annoying.
Yeah, so as
Rowan's? Question is, has mine?
I think I hear
Yeah.
the theme music in
Nope.
the background still, dear, do I?
Yeah.
Better shut that off, I guess.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm still frozen. I guess I'm turning off my camera.
You guys are all
Maybe
moving
it's
on my
okay.
camera.
You're on the screen.
Yeah, I was on the screen, but my camera is like frozen. I have this
No,
weird
you're
look on my
no, you're
face.
not frozen anymore.
I'm not frozen anymore?
No,
No.
Rowan is.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Okay, I'll just turn it off and turn it back on. No problem.
Even Rowan's not frozen.
Oh, okay.
You just don't much.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Although I have been frozen on a Zoom meeting, like mid blowing smoke out.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Weird.
Yeah, Twitch
Got some
glitch.
kind of... Yep. Yeah, because or it's lag on your end or something, babe. I don't know.
Could be, but it's... Yeah, it's doing it to me.
Slancha.
Twitch was twitching.
Yeah. Okay,
No,
there.
it's
This is
actually...
what Gareth got me for my birthday early.
Oh.
I don't see anything.
I'll hold it for a few minutes.
No, it's a little
It could be
No,
some.
because you're
some
frozen
lag.
still on my screen.
Anyway, he has a happy side and a frowny face side.
Hmm.
He's orange and yellow.
I've seen those. They're cool. Don't show it too much because I'm gonna get one for coffee. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but some people are freezing up there. Now Brianna's frozen too.
Oh.
Well, if I freeze, generally, it's probably likely on my end.
Okay, well, I haven't seen any of you freeze yet. A split second hesitation in the frames, but that's it.
And let's see if I come back.
No.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright.
You must have something weird about our connection here tonight with Google Meet or whatever. I like your bat.
Yeah, now
So-
you're frozen on
The
my
bat is
screen.
cute.
Yeah, I see that. Now I'm frozen. So I was about to blink my camera off again. But let's not worry about it over much, guys. We're just going to have to deal with it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
If we're watching the stream and we see we're frozen, we can try the camera. But let's carry on.
Yeah.
It won't be the first
Yeah,
time
turn
we've
your
done
cameras
everything
off.
without a camera. Yeah, yeah, okay. We could go podcast mode this time. Turn them
Yeah.
back on if E-Song shows up, because she's the one who really cares, I guess. So
Yep. Banshee, you do not need the bat.
Okay.
yeah, give it a chance to catch up with whatever it's doing or whatever.
You do not need mommy's bat.
Yeah,
Mummy is
make sure
fat.
you put that way up if she's after it already.
I did. I keep it up.
Okay, so where are we? Where are we at in terms of getting things up and running here to head out? And do we have orders yet?
You have no orders yet. Right? But you guys are almost ready to set out.
Okay.
You're almost fully crewed and supplied.
Has war officially been
All right.
declared yet? Since it's several weeks later.
No.
Captain, since we're just waiting on a few
Yes.
more things, do you think we should take the ship up, make sure she's space-worthy before we get orders?
Yes, I think we should, she says. I'm kind of focused on the whole war has not been declared yet, though. That's interesting.
Isn't it?
What's the scuttlebutt?
Scuttlebutt is that the orcs are holding back their resources and they think that they're waiting for the elves to officially declare war. Right? And they think that the orcs have stuff hidden in space areas that they want to investigate before they officially declare war.
Ah, well, I can guess what we'll be doing. Okay. That
Right.
sounds like exactly the kind of job for a special forces unit. Where did I hear this from, by the way?
Scuttlebutt around the marine mess.
Okay. Nothing travels faster than rumors, right?
Nothing travels faster than scuttlebutt.
How much time has passed?
It's been a couple of weeks.
Okay, so a couple weeks, that's 14 days. So, I
Hey, Aaron?
was doing...
Yes.
How far along did the boys get on that weapon?
Not that far. Lorik figures that he might be able to recreate it. He's just not sure exactly what powered it.
Well, through operating the weapon, all I can really tell him is that it was somehow operated by air, by compression of some kind through air.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can really figure is if someone had like some type of bottled wind which created the compression.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about all I could figure. Because it wasn't it didn't put up like yours does. So I really don't know. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so you guys are finishing up on the checking the finishing up on the 18th of Weeping Moon. Right? When
How much time is that?
that's the end of the 2 weeks.
Okay.
Right? When Scuttlebutt goes over the ship really quickly, right, especially to those of you who are junior in rank, right, or still consider themselves like enlisted, like Arian, who talks to the enlisted men, right, that the lieutenant colonel is on the base.
I hope
I'll
somebody.
pass that along to Celine.
Okay.
Oh shit! She says. Right. Okay, let's get this ship shape right now. She says. Everybody, she's like, clean everything up and get all the uniforms in order and the whole bit.
Nab, catch your
Yes.
breath. We're in good shape. The bosun's been on it, so is the master sergeant. I toured Marine Country yesterday. Everything looks good. And I trust our bosun to have the rest of the ship looking spot on for you, ma'am. Just
What about
breath.
Dazzlecat? She says.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll go find Dazzlecat and tie her up and lock her in the rope locker until the Marine commander is gone.
Might have to gag her too at this rate.
That's standard procedure when tying up, ma'am.
Perfect. You got anyone who can cast a silence spell on the closet in the meantime, or on the prig, wherever she's being held?
Let's see.
Find her, gag her, and put her in my little hut. Dream for days.
That's true.
Put her in there with Raja.
Yeah, Raja can
make
just
sure
sit there
she
and
doesn't
look at
go
her.
nowhere.
Raja will
What was
say,
that there, Chris?
I said probably all Raja would have to do is sit there and look at her.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep, she will take a breath. She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
She knows for a fact he's going to come here. It's the first Marine assigned ship. Of course he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. She's going to make
Well,
sure
actually,
everything... Oh, no, go ahead.
It's the first Marine assigned corvette.
No, it's first a Marine assigned ship.
No, if I remember correctly, we were on another Marine ship in Peridot.
No. You were on a ship that had a lot of Marines.
It was a
on
troop
it.
ship.
It was a troop carrier.
Oh, okay, troop carrier. Right.
Yeah, still crewed by the Navy, and commanded by the Navy, but with a very large Marine contingent.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
For those who care, there is the details about the Marines, which gives you kind of a loose idea of the rank structure. The Lieutenant Colonel is the guy in charge of the fucking Marines.
Yep.
So.
And you,
yeah,
you find yourself
sure
stunned in the
is
fact that you don't even know who it is.
Nope. Don't have an idea. Find out! That's what I need to do. Find out.
Okay. What are you doing?
Arian probably knows. What is the Lieutenant Colonel's name currently? I don't even know, she says. If he doesn't know,
Do I know it off the top of my head, or is it changed?
Oh, yeah. No, you know it off the top of your head. First of all, Lieutenant Colonel's not a he.
Right. It's a she, man.
Oh, good. Okay.
And I don't mean she as in type of elf. I mean she as in it's a woman.
Uh-huh.
I assumed or she was probably Alfar.
No, she's she.
Oh, right. She is a she.
I'm 0 for 2 here. All right, tell me what I don't know, please.
She literally raised through the ranks of the Marines to be the first person ever to command a Marine unit. Right?
From the enlisted, you mean?
Yeah.
Cool.
Right? She's now Lieutenant Colonel. Her name is Jelana Oakenheart.
Oh, hey, do you want to do something to tie it in more to the other book, or do you care?
I don't care. Sure.
Actually, nah, never mind. Jelana Oakenheart could work, or just Oakheart.
Yeah, Oakhart. Jelana Oakhart.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Oh, she's an Oakheart. Okay. All right.
Deep breaths, man. Marine brass is not like Navy Mithril.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I feel better already, she says. Nods.
They're just a lot more hard ass.
We run a pretty tight ship. I'm not as worried about that, she says. No, what's likely to happen is that she's going to harass me a bit by the fact that it's clearly my family name that got me this job. She says, which is fair.
Yeah.
Probably, man.
Nods.
One of your crew comes running up the gangway. She's coming this way, ma'am. And heads for under deck.
Yeah, you're finding Arden's nowhere to be seen so recently. It's like, where'd he go?
He better be.
He might be. He's probably in his. He's probably in his workshop working on orders of people because a lot of people ordered a lot of magic items suddenly.
Yeah, the first sergeant would dig him out real quick with like a snap point from Arian.
Yep.
Yep.
We're gonna need all officers on deck for this one.
Ah, curses.
Is it dark in the lockup place, says Daz? No, actually, it's quite pleasantly lit with lanterns and other things. You're sort of in a living room on a couch.
Yeah, you got a couch and everything.
You're in an extra dimensional space, if I recall, basically, if I understand.
Yes. It's very pleasant. Smells of cat. Which would probably be because there's a humongous fucking cat there. Like saber-toothed tiger.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, there's a saber-toothed tiger in the room with you.
All right, so kind of wait until it wouldn't be obnoxious to do it, and then when she sees that she's headed to the ship, because, you know, the uniform's pretty distinctive.
Yep. And the entourage.
She is headed this way, right?
It looks like it. You got your glass out. Take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's moving with some determination, saluting as people salute her.
Nods to the various people on deck and says, well, let's make sure to pipe her aboard properly when she gets here, bosun.
Avalana, he says.
She does that distinctive put her hands behind her back, lower back captain pose kind of deal and is starting to, stroll the deck a little. Look, checking things over quickly. Okay, is that rope in place? Is that,
Yeah. Okay. Make me a diplomacy roll for
Celine?
Celine.
I would assume. Okay, one moment. I gotta fire up my character sheet here. Just a sec.
Any of you who want to help her with this roll can make a profession sailor roll.
Okay.
What's going on here? Oh, you stupid thing.
24 total.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 total.
Okay.
27 total.
Okay.
Oh, I'm fucking good at this. Yay!
What'd you roll there,
All your
Crowley?
upper officers are.
What'd you roll, Crowley?
Crowley doesn't have professional sailor.
Okay. Well, you can make a wisdom check if you want to.
Okay. Uh, 13.
Okay.
Nice. I rolled a 16 on the die for a total of 31.
Total
Not
of
including
31,
whatever bonuses. Yep.
You got a 15 on your...
Yeah, including my stat adjustment. Remember that charisma is my primary stat, right?
Yep.
So, yep. I do! I'm good at this!
Yes. Okay, so... That just gives me the
It was
role-playing...
22 from Arian.
Okay, thank you. Were you going to roll 2 there, Gareth and Taz?
I rolled 11, but I don't know what is on my sheet. So.
Okay. Just waiting for Taz. No, you cannot hear outside there, Daz. Okay, since Daz we seem to have lost. She comes up to the dockway to where you guys are docked, where you're sitting in dry dock. Well, not exactly.
Right?
You're sitting on your landing gear.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And she approaches up the gangway and she talks to the first sergeant that's with her, and it's Sergeant Major in the...
I believe so. I'll double check. I've got the article.
Or is it Master Sergeant?
Just one moment. I'll tell you. It's... Yeah, Sergeant Major. Or color... Yeah, Sergeant Major, and then below that, Color Sergeant.
Yeah, no, Sergeant Major.
Yep.
Is this the number one Sergeant Major in the entire Marine Corps, or just locally?
Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps.
Yeah, it'd be Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps.
Yeah, that's a different animal entirely, actually.
Yes.
I mean, technically it's not a different rank, but it is.
Yep.
Well, in our Navy and Marines, it is. It's the only E10 there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of that actually, but in the older navies, not necessarily. It's just that, there was a guy in charge.
Yeah, he's not a separate rank, but he is in charge, so. Yeah, he puts his crop under his arm and strides up to the top of the gangway. Not aboard your ship.
Okay.
Alright. And challenges the guard.
Yeah, I'm sure the officer of the watch goes to him. Yep.
Yep.
Who is the current officer of the watch?
I'm going to say Arian is.
There we go. I'm relieved. I'm like, oh good, it's Arian, okay.
Yep. You
Yes, I'll greet him.
you know him personally. Right? You like had beer with him before. He smiles when he sees it's you. His name is Televar. Elkshorn. He's an Enehi too.
That's an unusual name for an Enehi, actually, but...
Elkshorn?
Mhm.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine. You
Yeah.
know, it's legit. It's just unusual.
Yeah.
Also an Elfar name, so... Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
He smiles when he sees it's you. He says, "They finally promoted you, did they?"
I didn't have much choice there. Question: do the Marines informally refer to him as Gunny?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He is.
Didn't have much choice, Gunny.
Your captain available?
Yes, she is.
May I have a word with her?
Absolutely. And I signal the Piper.
Yep.
Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, arriving.
Yeah, he pipes him.
Which, of
There's a
course,
particular-
means everybody gets on deck and looks nice.
Yep. And it's a particular song, too, that they pipe, right?
Yep.
Right. He comes aboard, salutes the ensign.
Goes to meet him.
Yeah, he salutes you sharply.
Returns it. Welcome aboard, Gunny, she says.
And
Pleasure to meet you.
pleasure to meet you too, Captain. He says, Lieutenant Colonel Oakhart would like to inspect your crew.
We stand ready for her inspection, she says.
He smiles. He says, that's what I like to hear.
Smiles back.
He says, if you don't mind, I'll pipe her aboard.
Absolutely, she says. Nods.
Yeah, he goes to the gangway and says to Arian, can you announce the Lieutenant Colonel?
Sure thing, Gunny.
Yeah.
Signal the Piper, or is he going to do it himself?
He can do it himself.
Okay.
Yeah. So she rises up the gangplank as he pipes her aboard.
Avalonian Marine Corps, arriving.
Yep.
Attend! Hut!
Yep.
Yeah, you all snap to attention with Marine precision. Are you in your uniforms or your bug suits?
Good question.
Probably in your uniforms because you guys were
Yes.
just
And we can have the ability to instantly equip our bug suits for the most part.
yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
so she comes aboard. She says, Captain,
Welcome aboard, Alana, she says.
I was hoping that your men would be in their armors. She goes,
Summon bug suits, she says.
yep.
Whoosh.
Yeah, big, loud clanking noises and armor slams onto you. Right?
Take off my helmet then and, put it under the crook of my arm and sharply.
Yep. She says, that's amazing. You can have your crew ready in that length of time.
We've done some work to make that happen, ma'am. A couple of well-chosen magical items and quick thinking on the part of whose idea? That was Arden's idea, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yes.
was.
Yeah, on the part of Ensign Spellbound, ma'am. Or Spell Sword, pardon me, yeah.
She nods. She says, what does he charge you for this?
Give her the total. Whatever it was. I know. She she knows, I do not.
Well, for the first ones, they were 3,600 apiece, so 7,200 for each of the other recruits.
Yeah, she says that for the various armors plus whatever the summoning. It's like rings that attach to both sides, right?
Bracers.
Bracers, yeah, plus whatever the bracers cost to.
Yeah, that's what she said. 3,600 for them and 72 for the.
Right.
She nods. She says, who's your best pilot?
Let's see, who is our best pilot? Who's our highest level?
Crowley.
Crowley.
It's Crowley. Yep. That would be Ensign Crowley.
That'd probably be me.
Nods to him.
Ensign Crowley. She says, I've heard of you.
Ma'am?
She thinks.
What's that?
Uh-oh, she thinks. It doesn't say.
She smiles. She says, can you show me what this thing can do? Something that will impress me.
I could give it a whirl, ma'am.
To the helm, she says to him.
Okay.
No, a bug suit. She wants to see what the bug
bug
suits do.
Oh, the bug suits can do. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Nods to him. Like, encouragement, good luck.
Okay, now, how could we combine a pilot and an acrobatics roll?
You can use your acrobatics to enhance your pilot. Alright?
Okay.
The way I work that is that you make a roll with your acrobatics, and if it's successful, you get a bonus to your piloting roll.
Okay.
Right? In order to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish, right? Or the other way around, depending on which you'd rather do, right?
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I'm pretty sure somewhere on the deck we've got a scrap barrel, right?
Yes. Scuttlebutt.
And in said barrel, can I find like a, maybe a 4-foot chunk of our silk rope?
Yeah, you can find a 4-foot chunk of your ropes, yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to tie it off, like an unlit empty lantern to the bottom of it to give it weight.
Okay.
Right? Then I'm going to, I'll fly to the end of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Like on deck. And what I can do is start off with like a leaping start with the suit, slice through the rope, do like, I don't know, some acrobatic roll, make it look all fancy, and land.
Okay. Then you can make me an acrobatics check followed by a piloting check and an attack roll.
Okay. This will be the one. Okay. Acrobatics is 26.
Okay.
26 as well.
Okay.
And 12 on the attack roll.
Okay, that's good enough to hit a piece of silk with the sword. Or whatever you were using.
Well, dagger, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, it's a sword. For everyone else, it's a dagger.
Yeah. So he does his acrobatic flip in the air as he takes out with his cord, dropping the lantern. Alright. She goes, they're that maneuverable.
Yes, ma'am, they are.
She says, how do you guys go about breaching the hulls of ships?
Explosive charge, ma'am. Designed by Lieutenant Madrimlian and Ensign Luric, she says.
She says, color me impressed, Captain.
Thank you, ma'am, she says. I have good people. They impress me too, she says.
She says, Lieutenant Madrimlian.
Ma'am. Head over, remove my helmet.
She says, Lilas by first name.
Yes, ma'am.
She says, I worked with your father. Before I became a Marine.
I smile a little because that probably means a good thing. He's a good guy, so.
She says, very smart guy. Sometimes got himself in over his head because he didn't think ahead very well.
Grin a little.
You inherit that from me?
Yes, ma'am.
She smells. You'll do good to keep him on a short leash, but let him free every once in a while, Captain.
I do my best, ma'am, she says. Madrimlian and I have known each other for all of our lives. We were midshipmen together, she says.
She nods. She says, well, I know your mother very well. I served on board her ship. Well, with the ship she was first officer on.
It's lovely to know, ma'am, she says.
Probably before you were born.
Yes, ma'am, she says.
She says, she's never been one to favor anyone.
That's been my experience, ma'am.
She nods.
She doesn't believe in nepotism, she says.
Yes, I know. She says, you got some awfully big shoes to fill.
I know, ma'am, she says. I do my best, but they're big shoes, she says.
She says, your officers and senior and NCOs should join me at my estate. She says, for dinner.
We'd be honored.
She says, bring a date.
Yes, ma'am, she
Well,
says. We'll be
that's not an order. That's a permission.
okay, she says. Understood, she says.
She says, "Thank you. Thank you for showing me what your crew is capable of." She says, "I've got a lot to think about here." She goes, "You might want to shake your crew down before the orders come through." She goes, "They're going to be declaring war very soon."
She nods. Yes, ma'am, she says.
Once
We're
we get
about ready to take to space. We thought we would start with some exercises tomorrow.
a good idea, meet me this evening for dinner and we'll go over what my expectations for you are.
Avalana, she says.
Gentlemen, ladies, as you were.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, excuse me.
She heads off.
Make
Yeah.
sure she is piped off, and
Yeah.
the announcement Avalonian Marine Corps departing and
Yep.
Master Sergeant of the Marine Corps departing are announced.
Yep. Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Yeah. He turns to you as he's leaving, and he says, "Don't let them destroy you as an officer. Don't forget where you came from."
Scant chance of that.
I know.
I kind of quirk an eyebrow at Celine.
Smiles. Like,
May I be relieved, ma'am?
what'd he say? Sorry?
May I be relieved, ma'am?
You may, she says. Assign somebody else to officer the watch.
Sure. Ruavel
You
will
got
take
time
it.
for a beer?
I do, he says. Let's go. Yep.
Yeah, once they're well and truly gone, she nods to everyone approvingly. She says, "Well done as you were, people." We'll have to let out Miss Dazzlecat now, she says.
Avalana. Crowley, would you mind?
And Crowley will go on it. Retrieve Dazzlecat.
Yeah, literally tying our Marines up in the back. I love it.
I'm basically going to go pump the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps for any and all information I can get over beers.
Yeah, I was just going to summarize that because we can get there.
Yeah.
They know that, or at least they suspect that, especially in Dragon Space, the one where place you're in, right? They suspect that the orcs are hiding troops. So they suspect they're hiding ships and marines. Right? And they are going to be needing people to go investigate it in small corvettes and frigates. The lieutenant colonel thought basically of you guys immediately and just wanted to make sure she thought you were up to the task, which is what she's going to be doing tonight. While you're all having dinner with her, she's going to be measuring whether she figures you're up to the task of delivering sabotage.
Oh, yes. You can assure we are very good at that, I say to the Sergeant Major.
Gunny, yeah. Gunny says, "I believe you, Arian."
So how bad is it out there?
Says, it's tense. there is conflict and there is fighting.
How many ships have we lost that they haven't told us about?
So easily half a dozen of them.
And any estimate on what damage we've done?
About the same.
So far, early trading and skirmishes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, people running away and yeah, because there's no official declaration yet.
Right. Do we know when the declaration's coming? Have they decided yet, or is it going to be after the first round of scouting?
After the first round of scouting, they are hoping to get enough ships to go scout these things that they can get some information and some sabotage all at the same time.
Right. Strengthen our position before we drop the hammer. Got it.
Right. Exactly.
I think the lieutenant colonel can rest assured that she's picked at least one right ship for the job.
Excellent. He says, well, I feel much better knowing you're a boarder. He says,
Yeah, they're a young bunch, but they're coming along nicely. You wouldn't have believed them a few months ago.
he says, I see the way those Alfar boys look at you. You beat some respect into them, didn't you?
I didn't have to touch them.
Well,
I just talked at them.
That's the best kind of beating, is the mental one.
Exactly. Plus, Celine took lashes for them. They feel awful about that.
Yeah, they would, eh? Ouch. Well,
she's tougher than she looks.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna trust you on that one.
Yeah, they're a bit of the motley crew. Kind of a mix of everything, but they get the job done. So
good.
I'm happy to be serving with them, Gunny.
That's good.
Not so sure about the lieutenant thing, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Well, Sparkles just redeemed a reroll for Sable, so loaded it in.
So you've heard about the other stuff, right? The family stuff with me.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it, huh?
Right. Yes, I just want to go back to Kanathis.
Don't we all? But
yep.
But you know how it is. When you take the
when you give your oath,
Nova, you do.
Yep. He says, okay. He says, I've got more questions for you, but they'll wait for another time. He says,
sure. I just wanted to get a feel of what was going on and give you the, real lowdown. We all know you actually run this thing.
He laughs, shrugs.
Lieutenant Colonel Oakhart's a good woman, but
yeah.
you're the one who keeps everything ticking over smoothly for her, Gunny. So,
yes. Well, that's the way we are, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm sure you're doing the same for your captain.
I am, but it's a different thing now that I have this, and he, flashes his epaulet.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just, I never thought I'd be here, and I'm still finding my feet on this part of it, but I find that everything that a good sergeant knew is probably the best training for a good lieutenant or ensign. Just something to keep in mind as we expand if this war goes long.
Yeah.
You know what they say, there's no more dangerous military creature than an ensign fresh out of the academy, right?
Yep. No more dangerous creature than a junior ranked lieutenant.
I better get back. It was good having
Okay.
a beer with you, Gunny, and I'm sure that the lieutenant colonel's waiting to hear what you got to say. So,
Yeah, she's waiting to hear what I managed to drag out of you. She, he says with a
yeah,
laugh.
I'll clasp arms with him and
Yep.
slap him on the back and be like,
Yeah, he gives you a
"It's
swat
weird."
on the back too, and
He goes, "It's weird to think that I actually outrank you now. Not that I
yeah.
really do, but officially. I never thought you'd be saluting me."
Well, he salutes.
Put that down,
As
Jesus.
you take care, Mythos.
You too, Gunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madrimley would have followed him to the pub but waited outside. Just because of the rules. He's not eavesdropping or anything, he's just waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come out and gather up Madrimlian and head back to the ship.
Yeah.
So how'd it go there, Arian?
I think I told him what he needed to know.
And what do we
Excellent.
need to know?
It's worse than we thought. Let's wait until we get back. I'll tell Celine all about it.
Right. So an officers meeting then?
Yep.
Right.
Yikes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sure someone explains to Dazzle Cat about what she missed. Yes, the Lieutenant Colonel of the Marines was here, and we had to make sure to impress her. We didn't want to find where you were, so we put you in the brig.
You need a hug command.
I know I do. I keep forgetting to set it up. The problem is, I want to think about it, and it'd be fun to randomize it. So
Yeah.
Anyway, Arian will take Cat aside and say, "Look, it's not anything personal. It's just that you have such a hard time containing your enthusiasm there, Private."
Hail
She loves ya.
hydrate.
Hail hydrate.
We didn't want any, shall we say, excited outbursts.
Yeah. So
Sable finds herself wondering if Chris has actually done this to someone in the past.
Not exactly tied up, but there have been a couple of people who have found themselves cleaning the bilges under the engines in the engine room when the admiral comes on board.
There you go.
yeah, there's always a couple of those.
I think that's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he calls a meeting of the command staff.
All right. So we get together in the wardroom.
Yep.
Okay, ma'am. So what the sergeant major had to say is not good. Apparently, there's a large, unknown, unlocated force of orcs loose in this sphere.
Oh dear.
They don't know exactly where they are, how many of them are, what their ships are.
Shakes her head.
The Navy's basically been caught with its pants down, it sounds like, ma'am. And it's going to be up to us Marines to pull their, ships out of the fire.
Hooah, she says.
So I would expect we're going to be tasked with going out and finding one of these hidden concentrations and doing what we can to pull their teeth.
Certainly explains the Lieutenant Colonel's questions, she says with a nod.
it sounds like they're not ready to declare war because they don't want these things getting loose until they know where they're at. And so,
Yeah, you're right. Caught with our pants down, she says. We obviously don't have enough ships to deal with what they think is here.
so the sergeant major told us that the Navy reported that we've lost half a dozen ships.
Oh my.
And that the orcs have lost a like number, which means we've probably lost closer to a dozen, and they've probably lost half what we've said, given the way, reports generally go.
Nods. Right, she says.
So I would imagine we're down at least a dozen ships. Whether they're all Navy or not, I can't say, but even losing merchantmen hurts, especially in time of war. So
Nods.
That'd be my guess. And we've probably taken out 3 or 4 of theirs for sure, and a couple of them are probably enthusiastic. Yeah, we got them, but no, not really.
Right. Nods. This is not a drill, she says with a quirk of her mouth.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Sounds like it's going to be the real deal, and I would not count on it being over next week like many of the Mithril will.
No, she says.
Yep, my drumline slides a note over to Lurik.
We haven't fought a real war in a long time, ma'am.
Yeah.
I don't know that the Navy knows what it's getting into. The Marines have thought about this a lot, and the fact that we've been so supreme for so long, I'm afraid it's going to lead to a lot of early overconfidence. So,
victory disease, they call it in the books, she says.
well, yeah. In this case, peace and supremacy complacency is probably closer than victory disease.
Nods.
Yeah. I don't expect us to win outright quickly at all. I expect it to be a long, hard, drawn-out war, unfortunately. So we got to prepare our crew for that. It's not over until they surrender. There is no victory until it's done.
So,
are we all like hanging out talking here?
Yeah, it's an officers meeting. Yeah. We're all in the wardroom. So is Alessander. He's nodding grimly.
Okay. She looks at Alessander and she shrugs.
Aaron is muted.
Okay.
Yeah, I was saying, so is your first sergeant and your bosun. They're here too.
Yeah, that's right.
Von Vin looks at Alessander and then she looks at Celine and she sort of shrugs and she says, I was going to say something quietly, but I would like to suggest our main ship's druid for a bug suit. He's the most senior officer on board, although not in the direct line of command, and he tends to be stationed in the garden. And if things go really sideways, I can see a number of advantages to him being able to have access to a bug suit.
Okay, explain your logic because they're on short supply, she says.
She says it's quite simple, all right? If he can get out of there using a shapewood and a bug suit and up to the deck, he can shut down the entire deck. Just like I did the square.
It's a good point, but he can also already do that without requiring a bug suit, she says, can't he? Well, I guess he can't fly. No, ma'am, he says, I can't fly. He says...
Well, depending.
Arian quirks an eyebrow at him. Are you not a shape-shifting druid?
Yeah.
Well, what level do you get that at?
4th.
Okay. Actually, he smiles. That's right, too. He is a shape-shifting druid. He says...
It depends on... flying is also a certain level as well. Flying forms. Yeah. Let me have a look.
Thanks, Taz. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd like to know.
Yeah, because depending on how that pans out, Von Vin might not have said anything.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, go ahead, Crowley. Sorry.
I would figure he would be high enough level if he was more powerful than Von Vin, then obviously he's
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's high enough level to
Your
fly.
capability doesn't have anything necessarily to do with your rank in these situations.
Yeah. He is actually a little higher level as a druid than she is, but not a huge amount.
Right. And she's capable of flying, so.
Is she? Okay.
No, I have the fly skill, but I do not have a shapeshift form that allows me to do that.
Alright,
At 4th level, they can become a small or medium animal, which means you can become a small sparrow or a bird.
Okay.
Once a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the.
Or a star shark.
It's the same as B shape 1.
Or a star shark. Yep. Good point.
Okay, then suggestion wouldn't have been made.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough, because she knows that. Yeah.
Because she's, yep, exactly. They've certainly spent enough time in each other's company.
He says it may not be as bad as you think. He says to Arian, they're both the same rank, so he doesn't have to, it's informal. He says a lot of the flag officers will have come out of Carthan. He says they're at least somewhat familiar with the nature of ground war. At least if they're around my father's or my uncle's age, he says. But
Yes,
you're probably
Allison.
right about the majority of them, he says. Nods.
And I'm worried about the ship captains who've come up in the space between Carthan and now, right? A lot of them have never actually commanded in battle, and they are going in with the typical Avalonian attitude of we rule the space lanes, right?
He
yeah.
nods grimly.
Yeah, says Ravel. Like, look at us. We are, he puts his arm around Xerxes and says, we are a bunch of arrogant fuckers. He says.
The Marines have a lot more commoners and a lot more people up through the halter hole, and we've thought a lot about how the initial stages of the war would go. If you look at the war games that the Marines run, it's always on the assumption that we will be surprised and on the defensive, not striking first. That's the way we run our games because it's the worst situation we can think of. And we always prepare for the worst, but hope for the best.
Celine nods. She says, I think that's smart and is probably exactly what's going to happen, so let's make sure that we're prepared for that too. She says, as best as we're able, of course.
Which is why I've made such a big
Von
point
Vin
about,
just nodding.
which is why I've made such a big point about keeping our senior non-coms aboard ship to keep things in line. And
Good point.
And keeping the critical personnel here while we're off doing our special ops stuff.
Nods. Yep, no point in having us be successful at our special op and having no way of getting out of there, she says.
Right.
Yeah. So, Lurik, we're going to have some work ahead of us. We need to make more breaching charges.
Yes, we should make sure we have as much of that as we can. Maybe we can make a deal to acquire some more gunpowder and...
Or at least the stuff to make it.
Yeah, she says, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a go. She says, we are going to do exercises tomorrow. Anybody have any idea for a scenario we can run people through?
Bug suits our way, ship gets assaulted by a boarding force, says Von Vin.
That's a good idea. Then we're going to need to recruit somebody to serve as the boarding force, she says. Maybe we can get one of the other ships to help us out, do some wargaming together.
Yeah, man.
Anybody know any of the local captains here at about our equivalent level that we could ask?
Well, we could always ask a more senior captain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, ma'am, you might want to ask your mom if she knows who has the sneakiest Corvette or gunboat around.
Okay, I'll do that, she says. Good idea. We can probably go out to that dark moon out there. Ballock? No, Warlock. That's what it's called. The brown dwarf is Ballock. That's right, she says.
Do we know if there's any local taboos or anything about that? I understand that, anything that's vaguely considered blasphemy is very bad here.
Only if you're in Alara or the Illyri
Well-
territories.
And
Moment.
I'm sure the Navy has designated uh, practice zones
Yeah.
that have worked out with the Ilarian Navy.
And Major will call a book on taboos and religious don'ts from Esteban's library.
Okay.
And
For
look
who?
for anything dealing with the moon Balak.
For who?
Warlock.
Or Warlock, I mean.
You're for the Illyri? Taboos and...
Yeah, anything that could be considered heresy dealing with the moon.
Okay. That'll take you some time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to call a 10-minute break here.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, we're halfway through.
We need to get some food anyway, so.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
All right.
Okay.
Alright, see you guys in a minute.
So, Mom, did you write down the amulet of natural armor?
You like any shots,
No,
guys?
I didn't. All right. And that was for your aunt, not me.
No, my aunt.
You asked for the natural armor.
Yeah, you got natural armor and got headband of vast intellect. I was pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that was for your aunt. I don't think I asked for anything. Double check with her.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You did.
Amulet
asked
and
for the
natural
amulet.
armor plus 2.
Two.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. I will put it on my sheet here.
Yeah, no, Aunt wanted the headband of vast intellect. At this rate, I'm just gonna assign it a skill and be done, because she hasn't said anything about the skill for it.
Probably diplomacy, knowing her.
She already has ranks in diplomacy. It wouldn't work. Wouldn't be a good idea. It needs to. For her, best thing would be something she has no ranks in. For a headband, because it
Survival?
automatically pops it up to the maximum your level. Because the ranks you get attached to that is emulating what you would get if you had your intellect increased by that naturally.
Oh, okay. So it's for intellect skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically a free for our current level, free 7 skill points. Once I can make.
Oh, any skill? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It just doesn't stack. It counts as ranks, so it doesn't stack with something you have ranks in already. So you can't put something that attach it to something you already have 7 ranks in and get 14 ranks total instead. It doesn't work that way. You put it on a skill that you have no ranks in it and get 7 ranks in it on it. The one I'm making for myself is stealth, because I suck at it. Well, it's not that I suck at it, it's just that I realized it's probably going to be necessary.
Yeah, I've only got 6 ranks in stealth.
And then when a +4 might attach
Okay.
to fly or some other one.
That's added.
Cool. Yeah, it's the free +2 armor on your natural armor. So it stacks really well with druids because it works in the beast form as well because it's an amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you need any tips on stealth, probably the true guy. I've got an 18 in my skills for stealth.
I have +6 just from my raw dex.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, you're a pro.
Yeah, it's like with the skill with another
Becoming
7 on top of that. It's 6, 13. Yeah, it's not bad.
Skills man pay off, right? Like one character, their highest, another character. Or would it be not know what, how much the other character was? Any answers?
Sorry, Carl, you were breaking up a bit there.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Just saying that just a thought about the skill stance from character to another of a high enough over and above the other characters. Them to
I don't think
help
so.
them get better. That's all.
No, I don't think it's a thing in this because of the way that they do skill ranks in this game.
Arian, you might want to go check your cabin.
Yeah, the meeting's over. I think he might be on his way.
Who'd we lose? Ah, shit, we lost Dawn and Blake.
Yeah, they were
Cutting out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Taz, you were talking about. Okay, so remind me about what skill I choose a skill and I get a bonus to the skill. Is that how it works?
You get equal to your level and skill ranks in that particular skill.
And it, I assume, would have to be an intelligence-related skill if I've got an
No.
No, it doesn't.
It's any skill. It's had been because it's basically because normally when you increase your int enough, you get extra skill point retroactively.
Right.
This is replacing that because it's an item that's giving you the +2 to it.
Oh, that's quite sensible, actually. All right, what do I think could use a bonus here?
It doesn't.
Has to be when you don't already have ranks in.
And no, it's not. No, I would recommend one that doesn't have ranks in it because it only goes up to your current level. It doesn't add more ranks.
Gotcha.
So, like for mine, I'm making it stealth.
Right.
Wait, one of the reasons with this, 2 reasons is one I'm figuring we were gonna need stealth soon, and 2, it's not a class skill for me.
Right. Stealth is a good idea. Then I can put some points into linguistics, which I need to increase as a captain. So yeah, sounds good there, Taz. I think that makes sense. Put it in stealth.
Okay, let me put that in my notes. Crafting stuff.
I am giggling at chat.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I got caught by the shark.
I mean, I could see Arian booby trapping his room when he's not in it because he's Nunahi.
And Crowley.
Yep.
Yeah, Crowley almost certainly has his room booby trapped.
Oh yes.
Of course, being an ensign, it's more like has his bunk booby trapped. He's got semi-privacy as an officer, but not all the officers have their own rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Crowley's an ensign, so he's with all the other ensigns. Fun, fun, fun.
The reason I have my is up my free out bunk for another sailor on ship.
Just remember there are places where one is not going to be able to access the extra dimensional space.
Mm-hmm.
Like wormhole transits.
Mm-hmm. So it's not best. It's best.
Discuss.
In the beginning, it's just completely the mechanics of it doesn't work the same way. Doesn't make itself. We had already discussed that months ago.
I was talking about.
On the whole, space slave clerk doesn't really need much of a space. He has a locker. He can just kind of go prop it in the bottom of it and just close the door and be perfectly fine. If necessary.
He's perfectly welcome in the hatch as well. We're close to the sunlight, so all years.
Yeah, you little guys will stick together.
I think they're weight-wise or counter base and stuff.
One day, you might look over and it'll just be the two of us in an orc suit.
Yep.
I can see that.
Like it's totally the three. It's like the three kobolds and the human in the overall in the coat and the overcoat.
3 kobolds in an overcoat. Yeah.
It's like we're a human. There's actually I don't remember which, but there's actually a campaign where somebody played a character that was just 3 kobolds in an overcoat.
That's hilarious.
Pretending to be a human.
With my hat, we could actually can happen with good.
I think I hear plotting going on, and I missed the beginning of it. So.
It was just one day we'll just find Lyric and Crowley, right, in an orc suit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I said with my hat, I'm pretty sure we could make the Desuk guys look really good.
Mm-hmm. What's that, G-Man?
Just gonna ask, does he want to +2 me to +2 his weapon? Since he was talking about it and asking me
Possibly.
questions.
I don't know if I can afford it.
It's 4,000 GP in 8 days. You get the discount.
The We're Buddies discount.
Mm-hmm. We're buddies / officers discount.
Oh, Daz thinks that stealing a sergeant's uniform and becoming a sergeant means less work for them. That's more work.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely take up on that +2.
Okay.
Then.
Just slot that in before the 72 days of crafting more armatures things. Because you wanted me to make 10 of them, it's gonna take 72 days.
Just letting you know I'm ready for when people are.
Yeah, I'm
there.
just was asking, are people back and ready?
Yep.
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 Okay. Back down here, and I will.
And you will rearrange all the thingies.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're gonna fix that. Kahuna told me about something we can do that'll individually capture everybody's camera and video and audio, so that we can not have to do this every time.
Yeah. Okay. There. Okay, so I'll turn this music off.
Yep. So does anybody else have anything to say about the Winds of War?
I'll be staying up overtime making bombs. Not like I need sleep anyways, so.
Bombs are good. Okay, so I'm going to work very hard here. I'm gonna get a hold of my mom then when the meeting breaks up,
Yeah.
and see if she can recommend someone to work with for that. And I'm also going to clean up my uniform because we've been invited to dinner at the lieutenant colonel's estate tonight, which means best dress.
Right.
She'll remind people. She's like, I don't suppose I have to tell all of you that we're expected to be in our best dress uniform for tonight's dinner.
Really, I thought we could get away with like our underwear.
Slaps him in the shoulder. Anyone else? She says.
No, ma'am. Arian goes and tries to find his best dressed uniform and finds a mess on the floor of his cabin. And pulls open his drawer and finds his best dressed uniform missing and looks under the bed. And Karak swims out and goes, "Find her."
So Karak sniffs her out because Karak can smell for like 10 miles.
Yeah, notice he says right away, find her, too. He knows perfectly well it's Dazzle Cat.
Yep.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, and Dad says it's putting on new uniform. Uh-oh. I'm sure Crack finds her. I don't know. I'm not the GM.
Yeah, Crack finds her.
Yeah, I'm not sure how a 6-foot-tall Dunahi male's uniform fits on Dazzle Cat, but I'm sure it's not well.
Elf and I believe female, so probably not. Nope. It's kind of baggy.
It's like she got the pant legs.
Yeah, trying to figure out how to belt it up.
Yeah, I opened the door that Karak's bumping against.
Karak is about to eat the door.
It appears you are out of uniform there, Private Dazzle Cat. A 10 hut!
Yeah.
And I will march her directly to the captain. Well, ma'am, I say as
she
I
raises
approach,
an eyebrow at her attire.
it appears that we have a private who does not understand uniform regulations and the restrictions on entering a superior officer's cabin. What exactly would you like to do in this case, ma'am?
Oh dear, she says.
Pinches
her bridge of her nose.
Can I erect the grate, ma'am, please?
He's asking to bring her before the mast, eh? She says, I do believe that's appropriate, she says, a little sternly. Nods. Yes, she says.
Well, what would you rule the punishment in this case would be, ma'am?
Sorry, there's stuff going on in the background here. Just a sec. Because we need the game master here, and he's distracted currently. Oops. Oopsie.
Okay, what's that?
Well, we have to turn her before the mast, obviously. She broke into a superior officer's cabin, stole shit, put it on, and is out of uniform. So I'm like, how many lashes is that? The Navy tends to be, I mean, they're harsh, but not as harsh as the British Royal Navy.
Not as harsh as the British Royal Navy. That would be like 60 lashes in the British Royal Navy, man. That is crazy.
Well, ma'am, if you think 60 lashes is appropriate, could I suggest that we use the flogger instead of the actual lash?
Yeah, no, I doubt she'd suggest that. So, like, and I'm just trying to compare. Shondar got 12 lashes for destruction of Imperial property when he trashed the fighter by being an idiot. I'm thinking 5.
Avalana, ma'am.
Yep. Tie her to the mast and lash her.
Yep, call everybody to inspection again because they have to appear for a security detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I'll lean over as I'm marching her out and offer her the traditional, leather biting device and be like, I was really hoping it would not come to this, Private, but we have to get that enthusiasm of yours in check, shall we say, before it leads you into an even more serious breach.
Don't worry about your uniform. You're not going to want one after this.
There's an understatement.
There is a healthy respect for practical jokes, but there are lines you cannot cross, Private, and it's better you learn that now than when you're on the ship of some martinet who might have actually given you 60 lashes, which I doubt you would have survived.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people were actually killed under the lash.
Yep. 60 lashes is ugly. That's is a ugly. Permanent maiming. That is messy.
Yeah.
5 lashes might still leave a scar or 2.
Yeah.
I mean, even Christ only got 30.
Yeah, so, pipe everyone to stand for punishment before the mast.
Yep.
You are now Real Marine Daz. Welcome to the Corps.
Yay, we have someone we can raid tonight. They are back up and running.
Oh, nice. Coffee is back, apparently.
Coffee's back up. Okay.
Great. Okay, yeah, so, pipe everyone to the detail and, pronounce the sentence, nod to the bosun.
Yep. And they begin. There.
They count it 2, the bastards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut her down and see her wounds are attended to, she says.
First Sergeant, see to it.
Now she's cussing a blue storm.
Now she's a sailor.
Dismissed, she says to the detail.
Yep.
She looks very upset. She's like, not impressed with this at all.
Arian will lean over and go, ma'am, it's for the best.
Oh, you're right, she
says. It shows that there's lines that will not be crossed upon your ship, and it also will teach Dazzle there a very good lesson about keeping that enthusiasm of hers in check. As I said, she will not always be serving under you.
She nods. She says, we're about to go to war. The chain of command is going to be really important, she says. I recognize that.
What was that, Private? You want bilge duty?
I think Daz is enacting all of her fantasies of things she wanted to do to piss off her superior officers when she was in the military.
Yeah, when she was in the Air Force.
Yep.
Ma'am,
Okay.
if I may, says Crowley.
Nods to him.
If you allow me to apply the lashes, they're guaranteed to not be as deep.
It's not your place, she says. It's the duty of the bosun. But thank you, she says.
Yeah. At least they're not anal like the British Navy was. British Navy got 10 lashes for not saluting a superior officer.
Yep. Yeah, so she's given medical attention and the rest of us dress for the meeting.
Yeah, the rest of you get your uniforms together. Your dress uniforms, like in the picture. To the east of Sable's picture.
Yep. Yeah, those days were bad, says Daz. You were one of those, were ya? That's cool. Somebody wants to go out, apparently. But
no, she's in her kennel at the moment because she was a bad girl.
Oh.
So she wants out of her kennel.
What did she do?
She bit me.
Well, okay, so in the modern military, there are 3 different uniforms that you wear depending upon the situation, right? There's like your fatigues, your scrubs, whatever, right? And then there's your formal uniform, and then there's your mess dress, right? In the older militaries like these, there's generally one uniform and then another you keep nice for just this kind of occasion. It's the same uniform.
You just keep it nice.
You just keep it nice. These guys actually dress up in those fancy coats to go to war.
Yeah. Well, you guys don't, but...
No, we put on bug suits, but... Which means that my uniform is actually in perfect shape.
Yeah.
Put it on. You know, polish up the boots, clean up the, scuffs or whatever that may have appeared on the cuffs.
Yep.
Polish all the mithril and brass.
Yep. I feel like it's like, oh yeah, there's all those steps, and then there's me, and then there's like the spell cast. What me is like, it's like, pull out the dress suit. Yep. Hang it up. Present dissertation. No, it's done.
That's right.
Yep.
That's what we'll do for Arian's ruffled and must uniform now too.
Yeah, you can
Celine
do that.
goes and takes care of it personally.
Actually, I have that spell, ma'am.
Oh, good. Okay, she says. Never mind then. Puts a hand on his shoulder and nods and carries on.
Yeah, Madrimlian calls his person in to help him get his uniform ready because he doesn't have prestidigitation yet.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
Actually,
do you know who he's going to use?
Okay. What were you saying?
He's going to hire Dazzlecat for that job.
Well, Dazzlecat is currently in the infirmary, so you're
Yeah,
on your own.
Can't do it now.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, there's the Gloves of Apprentice cheating. It gives you Prestidigitation and Mage Hand spells, cantrip spells, without having to memorize them.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what one of the magic items I'm currently wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so You guys get your dress uniforms together,
Yep.
and
Yes, we do.
polish the polishables and iron the ironables, and
Yep. Make it all spiffy.
remember she also said to bring your senior NCOs too. So
Yep. Double check and make sure that they're in good order, that they've
Mhm.
got a dress uniform, and do they need to prestidigitate or whatever
no,
if they're spellcasters.
nope, they're fine.
Perfect.
And yep, since we were suggested we bring dates, Jim's gonna have Mariam on his arm if she's willing.
Oh yeah,
So how about it? Are you my date? She says to Ruavel.
if you'll take me,
I would, she says.
I'd be honored to be your date.
Try to remember what fork to use, she says and winks at him.
Yeah, it's been so long.
She says.
I can't remember when you're flicking peas at Xerxes. Do you use the solid fork or the?
I think the dessert spoon, she says.
Okay.
I thought it was the butter knife.
But you can't get the peas on the knife without honey, she says.
All the better.
Good point. Yes, the butter knife, she says.
Okay. Xerxes will ask Von Vin if she'll go with him.
Sure, she says.
Arian's not clear if it's Yasma's place as matey to ask me, or if it's my place to ask her as commander of Marines aboard. And then the whole Imperial Crown Princess slash versus Duke thing, yeah, he's a little lost. He kind of like takes Xerxes aside and says, "What do I do?"
He looks over at Yasma. He says, "Yasma,
Yeah.
you going to this thing with Arian?"
Well, I hope so.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what you do, man. He says.
Oh, you know, all these social conventions are new to me.
He says, "I know I hate the stupidity of Alfar social conventions, but," he says, "she's not an Alfar, man."
Oh, that's true. She's only half like Star Alpha, right? And
Yeah.
an Imperial Crown Princess.
And you're a duke, says Celine to him, putting a hand on his shoulder,
Yeah.
which means that if anyone's got the right to ask, it's you.
Yep.
You're also Nunahi.
Okay.
You don't give a damn about their conventions.
Yeah, but I got to worry about Grandma's position still.
It's nice. It's nice that you're considering that, she says. But no, it's appropriate, Arian. It's
Right.
okay. You guys are both in similar rank. She does outrank you as the Imperial Princess, but she kind of does one of those with her face and says, "It's also more difficult for the Imperial Princess to ask."
Okay.
Yeah.
Arian will walk over and bow over her hand, milady.
Hmm? Didn't catch that.
I guess not. No. Arian walks over and bows over your hand I'd ask you, milady, would you care to accompany me to the lieutenant colonel's dinner?
Absolutely, I'd be thrilled to.
Celine grins. Okay. We'll get a carriage.
Evolith comes in with a very attractive elven woman with too much makeup on.
Who does what?
Evolith.
Okay. Alessander has no date. He has no life.
Oh, Evolith would have got him a date. He says her name's Brandy.
Alright, he says. She doesn't happen to be in the Lady Solo's profession, does she?
Does it matter?
This is the Lieutenant Colonel's table. I'd rather go with no date. It wasn't an order, he says.
Well, I did pay for her for the night, so...
Oh dear, he says. He looks at a loss.
But Jimmy walks up to Alessandro and says, "Remember my first one? Have fun."
Yes, but you weren't going to the Lieutenant Colonel's dinner. He's whatever. He says, "I'll go with it." He says.
She giggles and takes his arm. She says, "I'll try not to embarrass you."
"I'm sure it'll be fine, Brandy. I apologize for my awkwardness," he says. "Nice to meet you," he says.
"Nice to meet you too," she says. Yep, so you guys head off to there.
Yep.
Get
a carriage
carriages.
or carriages so that we don't mess up our nice uniforms.
Yep. And you arrive outside the Lieutenant Colonel's estate. She is a lady.
Right.
Right, Lady Oakhart.
Well, make sure to give our identities to the guard at the gate.
Yep, who is dressed in a Marine Sergeant's uniform. Right. "Ma'am," he says, "you are expected."
"Thank you," she says.
"Yes, Alana."
"Shall we go in?" she says.
"Yep," says Ravel.
Alright, head in.
Yeah, Madrumlian offers his arm again for Mariama.
Yep, you guys disembark the carriages. As you do, a Marine lieutenant comes down the front of the veranda. Yep, says, "Captain Wintermist."
"Lieutenant, good to meet you," she says.
"It's good to meet you too. I'm Lieutenant. Need a name for him. Ivy Hollow," he says.
"Well met," she says.
Alright, he says, "The Lieutenant Colonel is expecting you. She asked that I show you into the ballroom."
"Thank you," she says. Yep, lets him lead on.
Yeah, the ballroom is not set up for a ball, you note. Thank God.
Oh, yes.
That's exactly what Madrumlian thought was, thank God.
I'm sure everybody thought, thank God.
Yup.
Right, but there is a table set up on the far end with refreshments on it. Aaron?
Well, head over there and take as many refreshments as would be polite. So
Yeah.
nibble on something, take a little drink of something, you know.
Yep. They're very delicious. That is something about it. They're elven angel food cakes.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Little individual ones.
Angel food cake just became part of the elven recipes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, Majorman will feed some to Miriam if she'll allow it.
Yeah, she just laughs.
Apparently, Shadow wants us to be attacked while we're having this dinner. So, yeah.
Come on, bad guys show up. Yeah, with the epic level uh, Lieutenant Colonel around. Just so that she can show off and make you guys all look like school children.
Which we are.
Just a second, guys.
I am innocent, Sable, says Shadow. I don't believe it for a second. Not one.
Are you streaming tonight, Shadow?
You am what you am. I think, therefore, I am. Since in theory it's Monday on the Eastern Time Zone, they will be streaming. Okay. Yet the Lieutenant Colonel comes in dressed in a clean uniform. Not sure that she owns anything but. Alright? With a elven male with her. Also Nanahi. Oh no, she's not Nanahi. She was she. He's also she. Alright?
Right?
She says, welcome, Captain. She says.
Thank you, ma'am.
Allow me to introduce you to my husband. This is Vasily Oakard, Lord Vasily Oakard. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Captain.
Sorry, what rank was he again?
Lord. He's not in a uniform.
A pleasure to meet you too, Lord Oakard, she says.
He says, you're expecting my wife to have a military husband.
I wasn't necessarily expecting anything, actually, she says. I wasn't sure. She certainly wouldn't be the first career military person I know to not have a spouse that's in the military, she says.
He says, I did a term in the military and lost my leg in Carthan.
I'm sorry for your loss, sir.
I'm still walking. The elven prosthetics have taken very good care of me. Yes.
I'm glad to hear that, she says.
He says, but if you want to know the truth, I would think that's why my wife was so eager to rise in rank. Says, eager to get the military to pay for things like that. Yeah, that brings me to another point, says the Lieutenant Colonel. I failed to ask you, and I don't know why it slipped my mind, but what do you pay for the bug suits?
Rattles off whatever the number was.
I think they're 6,000 apiece.
6,000 apiece, ma'am.
Huh.
Nove, she says.
Yeah, I assumed.
Well, it's a good thing it wasn't galaxies, she says.
Well, yeah. She says I would think that, for the price of a warship.
Nods. Yes, ma'am, she says. Although, really, they are, in a way, very small fighter craft.
Oh, yeah?
Well, effectively, ma'am. They contain spin dizzies, as you may have heard, and they carry their own air supply, she says.
Hmm. And what about food and things?
There's small supplies, enough for 3 days, she says.
Really? Oh, that's amazing.
I'm pretty impressed with them, ma'am. They are amazing. Quite a feat of technology, she says.
Do you know if the orcs have them?
Not that I'm aware of, ma'am, but I can't say for sure. She says, gnomes don't tend to have a lot of respect for goblin technological capabilities. But certainly I do, she says. It's possible. I know that, yeah, she's the lieutenant colonel of the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
She need to know the stuff I told the admiral.
Mm-hmm.
Right, she says, we encountered a goblin that had an unusual air rifle.
Oh, yeah?
This was in Delmain. It had something to do with, well, we were collecting bounty on some pirates in our off hours. She says, I've learned that it's best we go find things to do to keep ourselves out of trouble. She says,
She says, welcome to the Marine Corps, Captain.
Yes, ma'am, she says. She says, well, the pirates effected a rescue while we were witnessing the execution, and a goblin showed up with this air rifle who, from all that we're aware of, had nothing to do with the pirates. He claimed to be, she says, well, I gave all this information to Admiral Celestis already, she says, but he claimed to be a representative of the Dragon Syndicate, whatever that is, she says.
She says, really? The Dragon Syndicate?
You are obviously more familiar with the name than I am, ma'am.
She says, by reputation, they center in... It's Issa, isn't it, babe?
Sorry?
It's Issa that they center in, isn't it? Or is it Gorna?
Yes. Or, well, could be either. Could be
No.
right on Solstice itself.
Yeah, she says, they're centered at a solstice.
Ah, she says.
She says, which we've lost touch with.
Oh, I see, she says.
Yeah. She goes, I'll be honest with you, Captain. I want to get your medal.
She nods. Yes, ma'am, she says.
You're young.
I am, ma'am, she says.
You're all young. Even your old man, he's young. He says, but that also makes you innovative and full of ideas.
She says, I'll admit to both of those things, ma'am. My people are very creative and very resourceful, she says. I feel fortunate to have them.
If I were to send you into a very dangerous situation, or potentially I would be sending you to where there's nothing, but we all both know that's not going to happen.
Of course,
She
ma'am.
says, if I sent you into a potentially dangerous situation where you would be vastly outnumbered,
She's nodding.
would you think that your men, using the term generically for all genders, she says.
Yeah, people, whatever, crew.
Your
There's a
people,
word in
your crew,
Elvish.
yes. She says,
Yeah.
do you think that they would be up to delivering a shin kick at the very least, and maybe a joint or two higher than that, she says,
Smiles a little.
to the orcs in the
Von Bin
area?
smiles too.
Yeah, she says, I don't want to speak overconfidently, ma'am. We're obviously not tested in any such situation.
Hmm.
And as you pointed out, we are young. She
Hmm.
says, on the other hand, we are very creative. She says, and I have confidence in my people. She says, I feel that it's important that we take the same kind of risks that we ask others to take. She says, and as a Marine ship and as Special Forces, we're uniquely qualified for the task. So, yes, ma'am, I think you should send us, she says.
Okay, she says.
This may or may not be as bad as the attempted piracy that we dealt with when we were coming to Draconian space.
I'm sure it will be worse, she says to Madrimlian, but that's all
She
right.
says, if it turns out to be nothing, it'll be nothing. But if it turns out to be something, it's going to be bad.
She nods. Yes, ma'am.
Says, we believe that they're hiding ships on the far side of Bawak.
A lot of dark out there. Easy way to hide it, I guess, she
Right.
says.
Right.
Oh boy.
So that means getting closer to the sun, or further from the sun. She says, we believe that they are using the brown dwarf as a staging point, and that when it swings around and comes around to the jump point from here into, I believe it's Carthan space you jump to from here, isn't it?
Let me look at the map. I has the map.
How's the map?
The map! The map is awesome. Aaron did a great job of making the map. Okay, here is the map. This is the Draconian system here, so the passages out go to... Okay, Wyvern, which we wouldn't know about. Carthan, which we do.
Yeah.
And Lenorm, which we wouldn't know about. And Orish, which we definitely don't know about. So,
Yes. Says when they swings around to Carthan, says the portal to Carthan, we believe they're going to launch an invasion.
she nods.
She says, we have some time, but we need to know they're there, and I don't think we will have time for somebody to go there, find them, come back, and go back.
Right. So you're thinking that if we do discover them, we should attempt to get to Carthan from there and then get word back to the Navy here as soon as we can.
First, do whatever damage you figure you can get away with.
Yes, ma'am, she says.
She says, scuttle boats, blow up engines, whatever you can do.
Steal logs and battle plans.
Steal logs
Charts?
and battle plans and charts, yes, absolutely.
Nods.
Just everything that you can get away with, and then head for Carthan space.
Then, ma'am, may we put in a requisition for either black powder or the stuff to create it?
Yes, of course.
Nods
She says-
approvingly to Dremlian.
She says, how many of these bug suits can you equip on your ship?
How many have we got now?
You guys have 20 in total, once the 5 that are being made get made.
Okay. We have 5 on order, she says. Once we've equipped them, 20. 21, ma'am, says Alisander. She turns to him and she says, I took Von Vin's suggestion under advisement and will purchase one as well. He says.
Excellent.
He nods.
She says,
22, ma'am.
22. She says.
Because Mariama has one as well, remember?
Oh, yes, 22, ma'am.
Mariama has one, yeah.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Looks to see whether Arian was talking to her or me, and
I'm looking at the Lieutenant Colonel.
yeah.
Yes, Lieutenant. Anson. Lieutenant.
I know this crew, ma'am. They're going to be ambitious. Is there a limit on how ambitious you would like us to be? Because I can imagine cutting out operations and stuff to take their ships as well. In that case, we would need additional manpower to get them away and headed back here.
Yeah, she says, I think that I would like you to be ambitious enough to throw some monkey wrenches into their works, but not so much that we need to dedicate additional resources. She goes, whatever you can carry on your ship. She says,
Understood, ma'am.
Celine nods.
Yeah, Madromland nods, even though
London says, respectfully, Camden, I do remind you, however, we do have adequate helmsmen.
Yes, we are short on pilots, ma'am.
Everybody is green.
so that I can
Is there
provide.
anyone you would recommend?
Because I'll provide a helmsman for you, a combat helmsman.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate that.
She says, yes.
Okay. Yeah, she's nodding, thinking about it, and she says, hiding around Balok is a really good strategy, she says. No one would be able to see them in the brightness of the brown dwarf, she says, and nobody would notice there are ripples in the gravity well that close to a body of that size.
Mm-hmm.
Nods.
All right.
Like, one of those crisp nods of, okay, yeah, and that, tells me something kind of deal,
Yep.
Yeah.
She says, okay.
Crowley's head, he's saying,
Go ahead, Crowley.
in my own head, I'm saying, murder hobo mode on.
Yeah.
Murder hobo mode on.
Yeah, totally. Actually, they basically told us to go murder hobo.
Yes.
Make such a fucking mess that lay out the body count.
Yep. I was just thinking, okay, well, maybe we should get like layouts for typical orc ships and such, so we can figure out where their helms are and just blow the helms up and be done.
That's a good idea. Do we have any tactical information on the craft that they will be piloting and a typical crew complement?
She goes, we have a few. We've managed to get our hands on 2 warships of theirs. A man of war that we've nicknamed a Dragonfly.
Nope, they don't exist
Oh, right,
yet.
they don't exist yet. What were they called before that?
Hornets.
Yeah, that we've nicknamed the Hornet, she says.
Okay.
All right, and a frigate class that we have called the Damselfly.
Do they happen to be here in the system, ma'am? It would be really helpful if we could get a personal look at them.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
I'll arrange for you guys to have a good look at them.
That way we can plan a breaching strategy, she says.
Captain?
Yes?
Maybe that's what we could be doing for our bug suit away mission while the ship is prepping for assault.
Makes sense, she says. We're planning our exercise for tomorrow, she says. The lieutenant colonel with a,
She goes, excellent. It's well thought of. Okay. So she says, let's get something to eat.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, she takes you guys into a back patio, basically, on her house. Right? Where there's cooks at open grills.
Nice.
Right? They're grilling up. It smells like bear.
Bear, she says.
Yes.
Delicious.
Her husband, whose name I've forgotten, and it doesn't matter because
Vasily
says, "Yes, I managed to bag a bear about a week ago."
Well done, sir, she says. It smells delicious. It's been a long time since I've had bear, actually, she says.
He says, "Well, I'm rather fond of it."
Nods. I remember it fondly too, she says. I'll enjoy a little nostalgia, she says.
Yes. Okay.
Smiling.
So you guys are fed.
Yep. People manage not to lose the silverware.
Or spill all over their uniforms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. You're not even going to make us roll? Good for you.
Nah, I'm going to be nice to you guys.
Okay.
You guys are being careful and...
Yeah, trying not to fuck shit up.
Yeah. Okay, so... She says to you at the end of the night, "I'll have orders for you in the next couple of days."
Yes, ma'am, she says.
She says, "You'll open them and once you're underway, of course."
Of course, she says.
She says, "In the meantime, in the next 2 days, I'll arrange for you guys to have a look at those ships."
Thank you, I appreciate that, ma'am.
Right. Okay. So let's have a good night, Captain.
Good evening to you as well, ma'am. Sir, she says.
He
Yep.
smiles.
Yeah, get a carriage again and head back.
Yep.
Celine's appetite was, not hearty, but she made herself eat a fair bit anyway.
Yeah.
Her stomach is kind of churning at the moment.
Yeah, so is Madrimlian's, but that's okay. Eat enough to be polite.
Yeah. And I'm sure she actually does enjoy the bear. She probably hasn't had it since she was like a little kid.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you for clarifying parameters for us there, Arian, she says.
Actually, ma'am, I was hoping she would give us a troop ship so we could send ships back to add to our navy. But
she nods and says, "Yeah, I was hoping so too." But she shrugs and says that gives us direction for one thing, and for another it tells us what the situation is, which is that you're correct and we've been caught with our pants down, she says.
And hard.
So we need to do a good job, she says.
And as cool as the extra ships would have been, says Von Vin, the troop carrier might have made us much more noticeable.
That's true. Yeah, I want to get a layout of these ships so I can know where to place the charges.
Exactly, she says. That's why I asked. We're gonna. If the more we know about that, the better off we are. She says, "Do you think we should take advantage of our connection to Carthan in this case?"
I think so, says Von Vin. The sooner we get the news back, the better.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of an abuse of the original intention, but... I mean, we have the means, and it's our duty to do our best, right?
Exactly.
Yep, exactly, Daz. In other words, it's best to just pull up those droopy drawers and buy some time while you're at it. Yep. More than anything, we're going to need intel, she says. I think that might be even more important than the damage.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have any blue goblins on their ships, we're fucked.
She
Why are
says,
we fucked?
Let me.
Because they're scions.
you can't sense what you don't know is coming. You have to try for it, she says.
True.
As also, I believe there's a ring of mind shielding to prevent that sort of stuff.
Something we should think about investing in.
Mm-hmm.
Can't make rings yet, sadly.
At B12 bubble.
Or maybe somehow the ship with that intent. Somehow.
Although I wonder if maybe we should weapon black our bug suits. Make us harder to spot.
You might get lost.
Well, yeah, thing is I can protect us for about 3 hours.
Okay, that should be enough time, she says.
Protect us from what?
Being sensed by other scions, she says. But it's unlikely, she says. Our friend told us that blue goblins are hardly common.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Especially if they have a big fleet. So then we'll have a better idea of what to expect. She says, I approve of your idea of weapon blacking. She says, however, I don't think it's going to be necessary. We're going to be in the immediate vicinity of a brown dwarf. I'd be surprised if they could see us for the glare, especially because they're Fomorians and they don't see well in bright light.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Okay, so I think that's where we'll put it up for the night. Because you guys
I was going to say we have 15 minutes left. That's not enough time to run an exercise, and it's definitely not enough time to come up with our battle plan for this.
No, so
Yeah.
I think we'll put it up here for the night. Okay.
All right. How does everyone feel about the game tonight?
Good.
Good.
Well,
Good.
the ball's rolling.
The ball is rolling.
Yep.
I do urge everybody to check out the artwork that I tossed in our channel for a new pick for Vonvin, because while we gamed, I played with Art Breeder.
Ooh.
Okay. Nice. I'll check that out for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you never were happy with that picture.
Yeah, she looks a little too dark and evilish.
She looks a little too aristocratic.
Yeah, plus her face was too narrow. I like this one. There.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
She also looks as smart as she is, which is great. I like that a lot. Very clever look. Well, thanks, Daz. You were a lot of fun too. Thanks for, enhancing our game. I'll post this in the chat because, if anybody's on our Discord, then they can see it. Oh wait, no, they can't in that channel. Damn it.
I'm pretty sure
I can toss it in Art Share.
if you click on it, it opens an image link, not a.
Yeah, it opens it in a web link.
Oh, good. Okay, well that's fine then.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Night.
Mm.
And thanks, Arnie, for having me whipped.
All right, we're going to raid coffee quills because we haven't had an opportunity to do that in a while, and they are up.
Yeah.
So I'll set that up here, and in the meantime, I guess we should go to the credit screen.
Yep. The credit screen. I haven't changed this one yet because I forgot to. So next one's asking old GM on Tuesday.
That's right.
I upgraded myself.
Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. GMT, which means 10 o'clock in the UK, is when we will next be back.
UTC, not GMT. 10 o'clock GMT.
Same thing.
No, actually, it's not.
I looked it up.
GMT is actually UTC plus 1 at the moment.
Anyway, Toy Soldiers Old School is game mastered by Aaron Ree, based on the Toy Soldier Saga universe created by Diane Morrison. Audio is provided by, audio and video are provided by Google Meet. Sound effects and ambience provided by Sirenscape. Music provided by Whitesand. Check out his Patreon at patreon.com/Whitesand. Mapping software provided by Campaign Cartographer 3+ and Incarnate, and World Spinner with adaptations in Adobe Photoshop. Character graphics provided by Hero Forge. Gaming software provided by Fantasy Grounds, Hero Lab, and World Anvil. Check out our campaign at www.worldanvil.com/w/Toy Soldier Saga. Distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution License, the Toy Soldier Saga is copyright 1995 by Diane Morrison, all rights reserved. Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone, or whatever your time zone may be. We will see you on Tuesday, or we'll see you next week. When you get to Coffee Quills, be sure to shout, "Prepare to be boarded," because we are the Sable's privateers. Bye!
Hey, Sable! Hey, Sable! Welcome, Raiders! Ooh, that does sound pretty cool. Welcome to the first stream of checking everything. And I forgot to put that on for a 10-minute break. Okay. Now it's on. I'm not sure if I'm prepared, but I will lay out some coffee, and I think I've still got popcorn.
Yeah, it took me most of the game to get something I liked.
Shut off the stream.